So I started school as a linguistics major and eventually moved into computational linguistics. And at the time, really data science wasn't even a term yet. The official term was coined really kind of again back in 2010. And so I started working with Mitel and Sun Microsystems in their early days. And we were trying to take things like the phone system, the PBX system, and integrate that in with a thin client so that you could take your phone and your call and your conferences as well as your session from your laptop or from your thin client anywhere you went. The technology was a little bit early, and so we never ended up launching that technology. And so I went out and started doing contracting and consulting, and eventually started working with a staffing firm and recruiting firms so that I could go and help other people grow their careers. So as time went on, I really focused on that, but was also able to kind of grow the consulting work and really was able to help a lot of different people. But in that process, I was also able to learn from others on how they were learning, what was the latest and greatest technologies, what were they doing from a technical process, because I was doing technical interviews, dozens of times a day. And so that gave me a chance to kind of learn what was happening within the industry and what companies were doing and what was coming up. And that's when I discovered Hadoop as a technology and created the first Hadoop users group here in Utah, and one of the first ones in the country. And we grew that to be one of the largest, and I was invited by the White House to come back and work with the Office of Science and Technology Policy and the NSF, the National Sciences Foundation, to help create the national data science organizers and the big data hubs around the country as well. And so now data science and big data started becoming a thing, and the whole world started changing pretty drastically. And eventually I decided to go out on my own and start up my own companies to focus on big data and data science across multiple sectors, including government, as well as academia and nonprofit and for-profit industries. And so really along the way, I found that it was in learning itself and in hearing from others in the network on what the technologies were, how to focus on them, and how to quickly pivot to learn what the latest and greatest technologies were and what the state of the art was, and how to deploy that to a problem. In the long run, I'd love to say that my technical skills are absolutely incredible, but really my core skills are around finding the right use case, the right business need, and presenting that actual value to a company, to a business, and making sure that the technology is sound so that it actually meets their needs. So that's kind of my story, and really it's based on others. So.